This is Paul. Yeah. I'm just seeing if this works. Yeah. It's 7:19 in the morning. And it was somewhat cold. I was looking at one of those displays that a lot of businesses have. Yeah. Happened to be a bank. Said it was 34 degrees when I was walking over here. I was sleeping in a rented room with no utilities. And it was a concern. The thought was that it was below freezing, yes, at some point last night. Yeah. Now, you would think, yes, for those that are in control, that they probably control the weather, yes, and they control the commerce. In fact, they control everything, yes. I don't have any control over what they do or what they don't do. Now, I was looking at an archive, yes, of the FBI. Seems that they've been active for the last, might be about 70 years, yes. And I was happy to see it. One of those special agent manuals, a legal manual, yes. And I did some searching for other legal manuals. The thought was that if you have a legal handbook, a manual of how to do things as a special agent, yes, it's somewhat self-explanatory. You read it. It's kind of like an employee handbook, yes. And from the handbook of being an employee, you actually learn about how to do the job. Yeah. Now I know you're in control today, but it seemed that there was an archive of civil rights violations. Yes, and some description of what is known as civil rights. They've been around for a while. The civil rights have. Yes. And I thought we'd just start this morning with those that are in control. It was, or it could have been, yes, that a lot of minorities they've experienced a similar phenomenon that I've experienced. Yes, those in control right now, that they decide what you do. They decide to, well, have you arrested. They dislike you. And they decide to not admit evidence. Yes. And then they decide to say that you're crazy. Pouch. Now, this archive of the FBI, I don't think that's all the documents that the FBI has. Yes. I was kind of going through it and I uploaded a few of them to my war crimes drive. But I thought for sure there were some other documents that the FBI has that they didn't make available to the public. Now, why don't we go through the archive today? Yes. Could you call the FBI for me? I just need every document of every special agent that has been employed in the FBI. Well, since they first got going. Yes. During the time of Hoover. Right. Now, this archive, a lot of people use it. Yes. It's, it's kind of a part, yes, of the technology available to us, yes, as individuals, and I know you're in control. I know you're in control. But I was kind of looking through that U.S. Code Title 18 and made some screen prints, yes. And then I was looking at old emails, and then, oh, there it is, civil rights movement. Unit 16, civil rights, yes. And then some description of the archive of the civil rights, yes. Could you get me the email addresses of all the special agents in the FBI? See, I'm one of these that really just deletes an email if I no longer want it. A lot of people, they put it in the archive. Yes. Could you get me the archive of all the employees of the FBI since they first started? Yeah. And then the archive of every email of every special agent of the FBI. See, it's this idea that when you email the FBI, and they say, well, you're in control. Yes. My mother's in control. She can bribe anybody to screw up my life and torture me. Yes, you can. My Uncle Wayne, yeah, he can pay the payroll, and The police and sheriff's departments, they can torture me, harass me, and terrorize me. Yes. And the FBI doesn't have anything to say about it. No. And then there are those in the judiciary. Pooch. they they don't have anything to say. No. Mm-mm. See, the American Indian Civil Rights Handbook. Yes. I kind of looked through it yesterday. Could you get me all the Indians and their archive? Yes. The archive of their emails. Yep. I just need to know the email address of every Indian on every Indian reservation. A lot of them dislike me. I told them I was going to take their reservations. Yes. They said, no, you can't. And I did the research, and they actually have to support and defend the Constitution. Yeah. Could you call the Elwha for me? Yes. And the Makah? And the Puyallup? The Quaalude? Yes. And all the other Indian reservations? Yes. Because I'm a non-white, yes, that has read it's the Indian Bill of Rights Handbook. Yes. The Bureau of Indian Affairs. Now, for all of you that are in control today, yes, yes, yes. I just need to know an archive of all your actual emails that you've sent or received. Yeah. Since you were first employed in the police department. Pooch. Now, I know this is something we usually don't look at, but since I was looking at the archive, yes. See, Thurgood Marshall Law Library, University of Maryland. Yes, the American Civil Rights Handbook. This was back in 1972. Yes, it was. United States Commission on Civil Rights. Yes. Now, I happen to have emailed them. Pooch. And I emailed the Office of Civil Rights in Seattle. Yes. And quite a few of the employees of that office. Yes, you did. They responded that I'm sorry, we don't work with individuals that are not residents of the city of Seattle. I emailed the Seattle Police Department. Yes. Could you get me an archive of their emails? Right. Their personal emails from your personal email accounts, as well as the emails from your place of business. Yes. Now, the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights is a temporary, and I've explained this to you before, but I think we're going to revisit it today. Independent bipartisan agency established by Congress in 1957. Directed to, yes, investigate complaints alleging that citizens are being deprived, yes, of their right to vote by reason of their race, color, religion, or national origin, or by reason of fraudulent practices. No, no, no. That's what it really says. It says fraudulent practices. Yes, by the reason of fraudulent practices. You can see that right there. Yeah. Now, let's say, yes, that my driver's license was changed. Yes. Last known address. Yes. Height and weight. I would say, yes, that it's a fraudulent practice, pooch, to change the address on a driver's license and the height and weight of the individual, yes, without their knowledge.